Welcome to MERDEKA Square. Dataran MERDEKA. MERDEKA meaning freedom. This is the place where in 1957 the first Prime Minister of Malaysia declared independence. I thought I'd come here and walk around and share the story of that, but they got music over here. We got music over here. It's a Saturday, a lot of people are out. It's a beautiful day. So let's go somewhere a little quieter and we can talk. We can talk. I want to know what these people are lined up for. What's going on here? What's going on here? Do you know? Like what's happening here?
This one, someone.
What is it?
Pay for the fine. Fine. We pay for the fine.
You're paying for a fine here? All these people in line?
Yes.
Like parking tickets or something?
No.
Well, a fine?
Yeah.
Or a fee?
Fine.
Yeah?
Fine.
What kind of fine?
Like wrong parking.
So everyone here is in trouble? Wow, okay. And they make you come here to do it?
Because we do got 40% discount.
Oh, you get a discount if you pay here?
Yeah.
Wow, so you have to wait out here in the hot sun, in line? Wow, okay, interesting. Okay, thank you. Interesting. So all those people waiting over there, and I guess all these people here too, are all waiting in line. And if you notice, it's a bunch of dudes. There's a few women in there, but mostly guys. Discounts 15%. I mean, it wraps all the way around here. How long have you been waiting? Half an hour. How far have you moved in half an hour?
We didn't start yet.
You're stuck here?
I'm stuck here. I think they didn't start yet.
Oh, they haven't started yet. Oh, okay. So that's why it hasn't moved. It just hasn't started. Okay. Appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, so that gentleman was just telling me that because it's like cop day today, it's police day, and so they get a 15% discount if they pay it here. But usually he said you can just pay it online. But the music has stopped. Let's go, let's do this. So I would like to walk out here in this lawn, but it's pretty sloppy right now. It's pretty nasty because it's been raining a lot lately. That's why I didn't get out yesterday, because it just rained pretty much all day. So I got here 2 days ago. I really wanted to come to Malaysia because I felt like it had the most in common with Indonesia. I've been in Indonesia for about 9 months of the last year, and I've traveled all throughout Java. I've been in the Maluku Islands, and of course Bali. And so I felt, okay, let's go to Malaysia. It has the most in common with Indonesia. They both share similar histories, similar culture. The language is more or less the same, like 80% the same pretty much. And so, yeah, I wanted to come here. Indonesia and Malaysia both have very similar histories, like I said. Before the age of colonialism, they were both ruled by kingdoms and sultans and tribes and whatever you want to call it. Some of these kingdoms went from Java to Sumatra and all the way up in here to Malaysia. And then, of course, both countries had to suffer through colonialism. Indonesia being the Dutch, and of course Malaysia here with Britain and the English. And well, they both had to suffer through Japanese occupation for 3 years during World War II. And then they kind of had the same path, up till then, I feel like. With the the age of colonialism and being subjugated for centuries. And then the Japanese came and put an end to the European presence here in Malaysia and Indonesia. And then it was there that Indonesia and Malaysia kind of took two different paths to their road to independence. And so before World War II, and one of the main differences, they had such different paths into claiming their independence. Like I said earlier, the Prime Minister declared independence here in 1957, 12 years after World War II. Indonesia declared independence 2 days after World War II, like right away. Japan surrendered and Sukarno declared independence. He was a bit reluctant at first because he didn't want to upset the Japanese troops that were there, but he ended up getting kidnapped, is what the story goes. He got kidnapped and, let's just go this way, and somewhat forced to declare independence. There's nothing really cool to look at over there. Let's just keep going over here by the horses. And so, while Indonesia declared independence in just 2 days, it took Malaysia 12 years to do it. Why is that? Well, before World War II, Indonesia had an independence movement already in the making, already brewing. You had political figures like Sukarno and Hatta already trying to spread the message of an independent Indonesia. You didn't have that here. From what I understand, the people of Malay, they were more or less, I guess, not happy, but they didn't mind the English colonizing them, I guess. I mean, they were more apathetic, I guess. They were under the impression that the British were a strong country. They had the strongest military in the world, or one of them, and that I guess the British did a better job of convincing the people here that they had their best interest at heart and they were here to serve and protect them. That all fell apart during World War II. Check out the horses, they're about to do something here. I hope this music doesn't... Yeah, I think it's just the band playing. I think we're good. I think we're good. And so, yeah, World War II put an end to the aura of British dominance here in Malay. And so, like I was saying earlier, in Indonesia, you had an independence movement that already started prior to World War II. You didn't have that here in Malaysia. And so, when Japan did surrender, I hope you can hear me. Okay, let's go somewhere else and continue this story. All right, before we continue on with the story of independence, let's see what the Malaysian police force is flexing out here. They got all their vehicles out, their tanks, their ninjas, their cars. I actually walked over here yesterday after the rain stopped. It was already like 4:30, and they had the police officers out here doing some sort of demonstration. So I'll show that in the video too. But
memegang motor yang cekal akan kekal. Skuad jaga pelacur juga menyebabkan kepekaan mereka.
I guess this is police weekend here in Malaysia, where you get to pay your fines for 15% off. How lucky. Stand in this hot sun. And so this building right here is actually abandoned. This one and the one next to it. And over here is, I don't know, MERDEKA Square where I just was. You don't see a whole lot of abandoned old buildings like this. This is kind of the only one I've seen here. When you're in Jakarta, especially up by Kota Tua in the old town, there's nothing but old abandoned Dutch buildings. This one is the only one that I've seen here, though. Everything else looks really nice, well kept. You know, they've been renovated. But actually, I've been really impressed with the city of Kuala Lumpur. It's a beautiful city. I mean, it's very easy to get around. There's sidewalks and pathways and whatever, like all through the city. But I'm kind of getting sidetracked here. Let's continue the story. So, let's go back to when Japan actually invaded and why they were so successful. I mean, just like Indonesia, they were able to beat the British army in, I think it took like 10 weeks, like quick. They defeated 130,000 British troops in no time. And so, just like Indonesia, Malaysia and Indonesia fell quickly to the Japanese. Why did they fall so quickly? Well, for one, the Japanese military at that time was a highly trained, highly motivated, well-led, military. A lot of the soldiers were veterans. They had been fighting in China, in Korea, in Russia, and so by the time they got here, they were seasoned vets. But here, you basically had the complete opposite. You had a military force that was not well trained and incapable of holding the Spice Islands, Indonesia, and Malaysia. And so they fell very quickly into Japanese hands. Wow, look at this. So this building is abandoned. This one's abandoned. This one's abandoned. If anyone knows what these buildings are, please let me know. They're really spooky. They're very creepy. And just like Indonesia, when Japan occupied Malaysia, they came over here with the same message. Hey, we're Asians just like you. We are Asian brothers. We are against the white man. Let's team up and work together. We want to assist Malaysia in someday becoming an independent, sovereign country. That was all a sham. That never happened. I mean, they were over here for the same reason the Europeans were. They wanted to extract and steal all of the natural resources that are here in this part of the world. I wonder if I can go in. It's open. And so, what is going on here? And so, yes, of course, Japan came over here with the same message. We're on your team. Let's work together, but that's not how it worked. In fact, it was extremely brutal, and the way they treated the Malaysians and the Chinese, and I'm sure the English POWs here was brutal and cruel. Oh, close to two. Okay, thank you. Can I ask, what is this? What is it? What is this? I'm sorry? What? An old. I'm sorry?
Independent Square.
Independent Square?
This side.
Oh, over here, but like these buildings are all abandoned.
This is called Masjid Jamin.
Okay.
This is old high court.
The old High Court. Oh, it's such. Once upon a time.
Supreme Court.
High Court. Is this one open?
Yeah.
So this one.
This is only for government stuff.
This is all government stuff? Okay. So this used to be a government building?
Yes.
That's also for
Long time.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
Wow,
You can see only ghosts.
only ghosts? I know. Okay. Wow. Okay, thank you.
You want to know about the boat there?
I'm sorry?
I think about this printing that
Please, you go to the bridge there.
Wait, I can go inside there?
From here.
Oh, a boat?
No boat.
I'm sorry, what?
No, if I didn't want to go to boat, can read about this.
Oh, okay, okay. I can read about it over there.
Can read.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So I guess I can go over here and read about it and see what these buildings were. So I guess they were old government buildings, but they're really cool looking. Look at that. Okay, let's just go see real quick what this building was, because I'm really curious. Old City Hall, okay. Old City Hall or Town Hall. The Dewan Banda Raya Lama. Okay, Google it and learn more about it. Kind of reminds you of Lewang Siwa. Is that right? Am I saying that right? In Samadang? The building with 1,000 doors or windows. It's pretty cool. Okay, where was I? Japan. Occupying Malaysia. And their brutal and harsh ways. And so let's fast forward a little bit. Okay, so Japan ultimately was defeated, right? We all know the story. America drops a couple atomic bombs, kills millions of, not millions, hundreds of thousands of civilians, and the war is over. Indonesia declares independence 2 days later. Malaysia, on the other hand, welcomes the English back. But by then, the British knew it, and I think Malaysia knew it, that the age of colonialism is coming to an end. And so not only did Malaysia and Indonesia have different approaches on how they gained their independence, so did the Dutch and the British. You see, I guess this just kind of goes off over here. Okay, anyways. So the Dutch, they came back with a force. You know, they wanted to take Indonesia back, the Dutch East Indies back. They didn't want anything to do with a free and independent Indonesia. That's why before the war, they had exiled Sukarno and Hatta and all the other political figures all over, all over Indonesia, because they wanted to squash any kind of independence movement. And so when they came back, they were like, hey, we're back. We want to reclaim our colony. The British, on the other hand, they came back, and I think they knew that, okay, we're never going to be able to fully colonize Malaysia again, but somewhat in an effort to save face and to make them probably look like they're doing the good thing and look like the good guy, and, they took a different approach as well. They said they would guide Malaysia to become independent. And so they wanted to help them set up a government and make sure a constitution is written and make sure everything is in place before they hand over power. But most importantly, they also wanted to protect their economic interests and their 150 years of setting up a colony here and not just walking away completely. And so, good, I'm still recording. And so that's the difference between British and the Dutch. The Dutch came back, and basically there was a bloody, nasty 4-year war with the Indonesians, and so thousands of people died. It's not to say there wasn't any war here. I think there was a lot of guerrilla warfare between the communists here in Malaysia, but it wasn't as bad as Indonesia. And so it took a while to grant their independence, but 12 years later, through the help of the British, they actually were here. I think they were at MERDEKA Square together while they signed the papers and celebrated. And August 31st, 1957, Malaysia finally becomes an independent sovereign nation. You know, maybe when I go to Singapore, I'll talk about that and how they're involved in all this, because at the beginning, Singapore was actually a part of Malaysia, the Republic of Malaysia, but because they have such a different I guess, demographic. There's a lot more Chinese in Indonesia. I'm sorry, in Singapore, that they wanted to protect their own interest and not, you know, be what's the word I'm looking for? Become second-hand, not second-hand citizens. They didn't want to be second-class citizens behind the Malay. So maybe we'll talk about that a little more when I go to Singapore. But I think I just about covered everything. You know, Indonesia and Malaysia, they're both majority Muslim countries. They both share the same food for the most part, the same traditions and cultures, and there's a lot of similarities here. And so that's why I wanted to come here. And learning about their independence and how they became a country, a sovereign country, was really interesting, and the different paths that they took. And so I wanted to share that with you guys. I'm sure I missed a few things. I'm sure I, you know, maybe got a few things wrong, maybe dates or things like that, but more or less I think I hit everything. And so if you have anything to add, please do. I love reading your comments. And so, yeah. Oh yeah, and by the way, I think when I came here, when I arrived, when we walked by this mosque right here, I think I said it was the oldest mosque in Malaysia. I don't think that's true. But I think this is the mosque or the point in Malaysia or in Kuala Lumpur where they get the name. You know, where the two rivers meet. But anyways, I think I'm going to end the video here. I don't have anything else to add. My name's Nick. If you're new to the channel, check out some of my videos in Indonesia. I've traveled, like I said, all through Java, some in Bali, in Maluku for a while, and so I got lots of footage in Indonesia. But yeah, okay. Thanks for watching. Hope wherever you are, you're doing well and staying safe. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.